What up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Thursday, and we have an interview today with the Mullet champion of the world, Mr. Dave Baker's in the house. Baker Lounge. You guys know him as Baker Lounge. You've all probably interacted with him in the chat. Now we get to meet him. We get to know what he's about, and he gets to tell us a backstory of this legendary mullet. Dave, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? All right. And we're going to bring him on. I made a special slide. Let's see, where is it? You know how we do it, guys. Let's see if it works. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to the show. I'm going to turn up your mic a little bit more. I'm going to turn up your mic a little bit more. Say check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. Here I am.
Perfect. Sounds great. That's the nice microphone.
Thanks. Yeah, I got one of my broadcast headsets.
It sounds so good.
Doing too much, but sitting in the garage. So
very nice, very nice, man. It sounds really good. Sounds really good. All right, I forgot to remind you earlier when we had the pre-call. Do you have a drink?
I do.
Yes. Okay, cool. Do you have a pop top?
It's not a pop top. No, it's just a.
Okay, that's fine. You can still say cheers. Cool. So we're gonna do the pop top real quick. Let's do some real quick shout outs. Guys, we're gonna be primarily talking about after we talk about fishing, we're gonna talk about mullets a little bit, but primarily we're gonna be talking about freshwater fishing up north in California, Northern California, right? Cool. And then so kayak fishing. And so if you have any largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, any kayak fishing questions for Dave, now would be a great time for you to ask them. Okay, so that's like the precursor. While you guys are thinking about some questions, I'm gonna do some shout outs real quick, and then we'll do the pop top. Okay, so Dave, do you have any pop tops you wanna go grab before we start the pop top, or are you good?
Yeah, I can go grab one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
grab one. Yeah, we'll grab one.
I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, cool. So while Dave goes and grabs a drink he can pop the top to. Let's just do some shout outs. I see Eric. What's up, Eric? What's up, Max? Eric says bit. Guys, when you see somebody type in bit into the chat, that means that they've liked the video. That's a good way to let us know that you've liked the video. So if you could please like the video and type in bit into the chat, that lets us know. I see Todd is here. What up, Todd? I see Dario is here. What up, Dario? Welcome back. What's up, everybody? Spotty Bowl official trophy. What? Wait, what? Are you going to make a Spotty Bowl official trophy? Yeah, that looks so nice. That looks so nice. Yeah, let's talk about that. That's fantastic. Okay, we'll figure it out. I gotta pay for it, dude. I can't just take stuff from you all the time. I gotta pay for it. So we'll figure it out. Eric says, you're welcome. Great work. Very cool. CB Sport Fishing. What up? Welcome to the show. I don't recognize your name, but welcome if it's your first time here. We basically talk about fishing here in Southern California. Mostly saltwater, but today we're going to focus on freshwater. So if you're into kayak fishing, freshwater or saltwater, we're primarily fishing for spotted bay bass. Every once in a while we go fish for yellowtail and that kind of stuff in La Jolla, like the bigger game fish, but mostly catch and release. I see Arnie in the house. Arnie, what up? Hope you're feeling better. Looks like it. Very cool. Eric, I see Eric is in here too. I see Captain Dan. What's up, Captain Dan? Looking forward to hearing my pal Dave Baker talk about his mullet and his fishing adventures in the NorCal MMFC chapter. That's right. Okay, good. Okay, let me, looks like Dave's back. Let's put him back on the screen. Go split screen. Whew, transition, bro. Yeah. All right. So, you're good, Dave. I'm gonna move your screen a little bit. You're good though. Let's see. Sorry guys, this is a one-man band here, so bear with me. There we go. You're good. Yeah. All right. Layout complete. Cool. So Dave, how you been?
I'm good. Yeah, real good.
Man, that mic sounds so good. All right. So now that you have a drink, now that you have a drink, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard, rate this pop top. Go ahead. You might have to hold it closer to your mic. Oh, no fizz. No fizz. All right, rate the pop top. Let's see what we have here. I see Leonard in the house. What up, Leonard? What's up, Todd? Tyler, what's up? You're back. Bit question. Oh, I got a question coming in already. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, we'll address that PFD question in a second, Nate. Good call. All right, here we go. A 3. Aw. Keep it going.
I think the mic filtered out some
Yeah.
of that fizz and some of the noise.
That mic is set up to only catch what's right in front of it. So if he pops it over here, it basically deadens that sound. So that's probably what happened. It's a really good mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go up and down, you disappear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gone.
All right. Mullet champion has to attend. I said Mullet champion automatically gets a 10 regardless, says Eric. Nice. Very nice. All right, here we go. I'm going to pop my top and then we're going to move on with the show. I boosted. Performance enhancing pop top. I bumped up my volume. Cheers. Thanks for doing the show with us.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Wowzers. That's a real Coke. Syrup. You. All right. So let's talk a little bit about your background. Let's start with, do you remember when you first got into fishing or what your first fishing experience was? It doesn't have to be like, oh, here's when I decided to go pro. It could just be like the first time you remember fishing at all.
My first fishing as a kid was trout fishing up on the lakes in the Sierras.
Very nice.
And basically sinkers and bobbers and salmon eggs, and got a little bit more into fishing as a teenager, fishing the creeks in town here in Davis, where I grew up, and then moved away. And when I came back after started having kids, started fishing those same creeks again, and then got into kayak fishing.
Oh, there you go.
That's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
4 or 5 years into kayak fishing, and now I've got that pretty dialed in for the area, and just having a blast doing it.
Very cool. Very cool. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of rig do you have? What kind of setup are you doing?
So I got a native Titan 10.5.
Nice.
And so this is the 4th kayak I've been into, and it's pedal drive with propeller.
Oh, cool.
And what I like about it's really stable, and I go from sitting down to standing up and yanking on a fish.
Oh wow.
And or I kick those pedals backwards and pull out of a cove.
Right.
And you're instantly on them. I mean, the trade-off is it's big, it's heavy, it's not that aerodynamic, and it's slow.
Yeah.
So.
But it works. It gets you where you want to go when you're fishing. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
And you put the work in, you get around some of the bigger water in the lakes here, and it still gets you there. So.
Yeah, of course. That's cool. Very cool. So was there a certain point where you decided to start fishing for, like, you're fishing for like for bass, right? Now?
Yeah, mostly largemouth. I mean, I'll pull anything I can get out of the water here.
Yeah.
And which the last couple of weeks has been fun on Berryessa. The lake flipped recently, so the thermal layer the lake turned over. Yeah. And all the fish are intermingling, and I found these huge bait balls and just started jigging spoons, throwing irons into them. Yeah. And you see what comes up, and we're getting all 3 species of bass out of the lake.
Wow.
Lot king salmon, and then trout too.
That's cool. So for those of you guys that don't know what he means by the lake turning over, I'm gonna try to explain it. And I think I'm dropping your connection. Let's see. Comes back. Are you still there, Dave? We'll get Dave back on, guys. Give me a second. Yeah, our call dropped. Our call is dropping, so we'll wait for it to reconnect. And meanwhile, I'll answer the question that was posted earlier by Nate. He says, question. Let me see. I hang up here. And call him back. Okay, it's thinking about it. There you are. There you are. Okay, cool. Yeah, it dropped. It was weird. Okay, we're back.
All right, reconnected.
Yeah, cool. All right, there we go. Oh, there you are. Great. All right, cool. I was gonna say, what was I was asking? I was asking about. it really threw me first. Oh yeah, thermocline and the lake turning over. We don't experience that so much here because in the bays the water's always going in and out. It's getting flushed in and out every tide basically, every tide swing. But on a lake, there's a point where there's always a upper layer of water that's warm, and it gets to a distinct cold layer, and where that divide happens is it's called a thermocline, right? So usually the fish don't live under the thermocline. They try to stay above the thermocline. So you kind of know that the fish are usually in areas that are not too deep, so you can fish them in the shallows and that kind of stuff. But there's a certain point where the water that's on the surface gets too close to the temperature of the water that's below the thermocline, and then there's no thermocline. At that point, the water just all starts to mix around. What was separating the water before was a difference in temperature. Okay, so now that they're so close in temperature, they kind of become one and they kind of mix around, and now the fish could be anywhere, right? It
Yeah, absolutely.
changes the whole lake.
And the other thing is some of the species that during the summer where the bass will be higher in the column and trout and salmon will be lower. And now that the lake is flipped, basically the trout and the salmon come up and kind of have everything in there. And it's also this time of year as the water gets colder, the bait balls tighten up. And so when you find them, you'll find the fish, everything is just in there smacking those bait balls.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like I said, it's video game fishing on the graph. And you can sit there and you see this big cloud of bait, and then you watch your lure go right down in it, you jig it up and down, and then boom, you see the fish hit it. All on your graph.
That's fun. That's fun. Oh, that's cool. What are you using for? You said irons?
Yeah, so I was throwing anywhere from 1/2 ounce Castmasters.
Yep.
Let's see, got one right here.
Oh, okay.
This little guy.
Yeah.
I put a feather treble on there, and then another little Owner ST36 Stinger on the top.
Nice.
So a small finesse spoon, and then anything up to about 1.5 ounces. I think I had some 2 ounce for when I was really getting pushed in the wind. But yeah, you just throw them in, drop them down, jig, and something will come over and smack it. So
that's crazy. That's cool. It's very cool. It's cool because you can see the bait. When you can see the bait and you can see the marks below it or around it, that's cool.
Oh yeah, like when I set up, I'd come into an area and you just kind of let either the wind or the current drift you through, and you set a mark at the top of the bait ball and the bottom, and if you can stay within that area and just continue drifting back and forth, and you're right on the fish.
Yep, that's cool. That's the cool thing about having a kayak with the drive that is with the legs, because you can stay on the spot and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like a spot lock.
Yeah.
Trolling motor, so.
Yeah, it's like a manual spot lock or legual. I was kidding.
Yeah. So one of the videos I have, there's a bass boat, and then another guy just kind of he's with his 4 kids on just a regular pleasure boat that has a little trolling motor on the back.
Yeah.
And they're really struggling moving around, and then all 3 of us are kind of in the soup, and even they were commenting how I was able to stay on there, partly because I wasn't getting pushed by the wind.
Yeah.
With the low profile.
Oh, yeah.
And I outfished both of them, so.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool when you outfish the guy on the boat. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, we have a question here. We're gonna answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question. You could put in your 2 cents if you'd like. It's not really related to the interview, but it's related to kayak fishing. So. Nate asks the question. He says, "I always wear a PFD, but is there a law in San Diego Bay requiring kayakers to have a PFD on them?" I think there is a law that requires you to have a PFD that's Coast Guard approved on your vessel. But I don't think it requires you to put it on. I think it has to be available to you. But if you're gonna have it, might as well put it on. Otherwise, what's the point? Okay, that's my. Go ahead.
I wear one all the time. Yeah, I always have a PFD on, and that's I think you're right though. I'm pretty sure anywhere you're supposed to have, there's different types, like a type 1, type 2, type 3, and I think it could even just be one of those square cushions if you have it on the craft. That can be your bare minimum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should always wear one.
Yeah, just remember if for whatever reason you don't have to get knocked unconscious. Anything can happen that's an emergency where you're not able to move or you get knocked out, and your PFD sitting on your kayak in your hatch is not going to help you. Okay, so wear it. If you're on the water, just wear it. Get used to it. I know it's going to be annoying at first, but get used to it. All right, so let's see. Okay, keep going.
I'll even use it for leverage. You know, you can get it in there, and when you're yanking on fish,
that's a good
you
call.
plant that.
Yeah.
And you know, instead of putting that butt in your ribs.
Yeah.
So that's the transition when you go to a boat and you don't have it, you're really sitting there jabbing yourself.
And you're like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. That's true. That's true. Interesting. All right. Another question.
So I try to take longer handle rods on a boat. You know.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. Cool. All right. So, Dario, I see your question. We'll get to your questions, yours and Todd's questions. All right. Let's just do the questions real quick. Dario asks, any recommendations for beginner largemouth bass fisherman, parentheses me, to get on his first bass this winter off the kayak?
All right, I got a couple.
Oh, Dario, there you go.
Let's just say, number one during the winter is your same friend apparently on the bay, and that's old Ned.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a nice one.
Yeah, so that's what is this? This is the big TRD.
Okay.
And what I like throwing them on is
weedless.
Yeah, it's an EWG
nice.
Ned head.
Yeah.
And there's a couple companies that make them. This one, Foolery Fishing, makes them in these 2 watts. And
that's nice.
You don't get hung up.
That's really nice.
I get them in 1/8 ounce and then 1/4 ounce. So I like throwing as light as possible. But, you know, I caught a little fish today. It was probably 10 inches, tough bite, slack tide right when it was turning over.
Yep.
And he still goes after and eats this thing. So, and then Ned will always get it done.
That's so nice.
I like throwing drop shot too.
Okay.
And then if you want to do a little power fishing, chatterbait. Chatterbait's just it's a great.
I have a chatterbait. And I've used it a couple of times. I usually just cast it, let it sink, and then I reel it fast enough that it vibrates. What retrieve do you normally use, or how do you fish it?
It's pretty much the same thing. I like to throw it out and then just kind of slow roll it, and then occasionally burn it, pause, burn it, pause, and it's kind of finding an area where there's going to be a fish waiting to ambush it, and throw it out and pull it past them, and then you're thinking they're going to come out and eat it, and
that makes sense.
Like I like to envision the area of where the fish would be, and then cast past, and
swim it by them.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
That's good.
And then some of it's just blind throwing it out, and it has enough action in the water with that vibrating blade and then all that skirt on there, and then even little paddle on the back. It's throwing off a lot, and fish will come from
we'll look at it
below, above it, side to side, and they'll eat it.
Have you ever done the big swim bait game where you fish one big swim bait for like three weeks hoping to catch like a 10-pounder? What's your biggest bass?
Biggest bass, I've caught a couple 5-pounders this year.
That's pretty good.
I think 5-6 pounds are my biggest bass. This June I got on a couple big fish, and they're right around 4 or 5 pounds. I think was the biggest fish this year, and they were those I caught them on smallest bait. I caught them on a 3-inch drop shot.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
Light line finesse fishing, but I've got a couple big swim baits. I've started throwing a HUD a little more.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to commit to because you really got to have some patience for it.
Yeah.
But there's some other big swim baits that wake baits.
Yeah.
And I've been throwing those, and when you can see them on the top, and I've been getting some more bites on those.
And when you see the followers, you're like, "What do I do? I'm getting close." Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. Actually, there's a. Let's see, what is it? This thing here.
Oh yeah, looks good. Oh yeah, exactly.
It's just got this great action, nice big bill.
That one swims subsurface. Yeah, right.
Big rod. Yeah, so it's a little crank down, so it's kind of a wake bait, and then you can crank it and it'll dive, and then you throw it on a big swim bait rod.
Yeah. That's a setup right there. That looks fun. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Grinding that out. That would. If I went back to doing some freshwater stuff, that's the stuff I would be interested in. Trying to fish those giant baits that like you don't think they're ever gonna get bit, and all of a sudden you get bit, and you're like, oh my god, look at this thing.
You get the bite.
Yeah, you get the bite exactly.
I've been that route. I've been more into throwing things lately, so it's put a little time, and eventually it's like, don't throw the drop shot. All right, I'm throwing drop shot, but
yeah, after like a few hours, you're like, it's getting close to the end of the day. I don't want a skunk. I'm just gonna do the drop shot. Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. I mean, okay, that was good. That was a good recommendation for Dario. All right, Dario, there you go. Todd's got a question. Todd from TB Metal Art. He says, he's just saying he's gonna. Are you gonna fly at Silver? Do you fly fish as well?
I don't do any fly fishing. Haven't gone down that road yet. I'll do some trout fishing, but it's still just spinning ultralight.
Yep. I'm sorry. Todd was saying he's gonna go fly at Silver Lake. Oh, maybe he's gonna go fly fishing at Silver Lake on June 3rd. Okay, cool, nice, Todd.
Oh, very cool.
Let's see. Captain Dan says PFDs need to be available, but should be worn at all times in a kayak. We agree, Captain Dan. That's awesome. All right. How did you meet Captain Dan?
So Dan and I we're coworkers. We work in TV. I know there was a rumor going around that I was Vanilla Ice's tour manager, but let me just spell that now. It's not true.
What?
No. So working on the motocross tour, and
awesome.
Dan and I were both flying off of the West Coast, and we both flew on United Airlines, and we often would meet at a connecting airport and then be delayed together.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'd have these, amazing. All right, well, we're stuck in Washington, D.C., and we got to drive to New York now straight to work. So over the course of, 6-7 years, we spent a lot of time in the summer together.
That's cool.
Working it on the road.
That's cool. So you're road dogs. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, road buddies. That's awesome. That's cool. That's a good way to get to know somebody for sure, because you end up talking about random stuff. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard a lot of his stories from, I had no idea he was a fishing captain, and
is that crazy?
Ran these boats, and so we knew him. He was from the motocross world.
Yeah.
And
so, I feel like
I'm hearing this whole other side.
I know. That's how I felt. I feel like Captain Dan's got so many like facets to him, like, and even just the TV production motocross stuff is already pretty intense. It's already pretty amazing. And you add all of the like the captaining stuff, and then you add all the dive stuff too. It's like, what? Anyway, very cool. Cool dude. Awesome. Cool. Shout out to Captain Dan. Woo.
Absolutely. And then, Dan got me involved with MMFC when
very cool.
Spring. So
I
can't remember exactly how we connected. I think he hit me up on Messenger and said, "Hey, check this out." So I hopped on, and that was that. And,
there you go.
it's been a blast when I jump on the Discord on Saturdays and we're fishing on the comms. It's a lot of fun. So
that is fun. So let's see. Let's finish talking about bass fishing, and then we're gonna get into the mullet talk, because I'm losing track of the time, and I'm just having fun here. But what is your freshwater goal right now? What are you working on? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to get better at like tournaments, or are you just kind of fishing for the fun of it, or what's your motivation?
Fishing for the fun of it.
Cool.
I had some fun doing some month-long tournaments over the summer, but it's kind of hard to keep up with. Going back to work now. The tournaments, you really got to put the time in and put the right time in.
The pre-fishing, all that stuff, yeah. And then traveling on certain days, yeah.
Yeah, and
what organization were you doing with? KBF?
I was doing KBF and then Yakabas in Northern California.
Cool. Yep.
And so both of those, I finished. My best finish was 5th in June, and
it's awesome.
Both month-long tournaments they were putting on. So that was a lot of fun. I found some nice fish, and but it's putting a lot of time on the water.
Yeah.
And now I'm just fishing for fun and just trying to want to catch some bigger bass.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool.
Big smallmouth. I think that's my goal right now. Big smallmouth, big spots, and those spotted freshwater bass. We were talking on the show last week in the chat. they're really pound for pound one of the hardest fighting fish you can come across, and they're a blast to catch.
That's cool. That's super cool. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, that's good. Okay. So, have you? I guess we have to wait till the whole COVID thing is over. But do you saltwater fish every once in a while too? I think the connection dropped.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime
Okay.
I can get out. I did some surf fishing right around Halloween this
Oh,
year,
okay.
and got out there in the waders, did some surf casting in Monterey Bay, and
Nice.
that's where I've done most of my saltwater fishing around there. Haven't taken my kayak out
Yeah.
in the salt, but I have been out, done some kayak saltwater fishing, and eventually once I can start traveling and getting around again, then I'm definitely going to come down and do a day on the bay with you
Oh
guys. So
yeah, that'd be so good.
yeah,
Have you ever caught a spotty?
I've never caught a
Oh my
spotty. I've caught
gosh.
some calicos,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've caught max, and
Oh, it's gonna
so
be so good. Yeah, that's gonna be so good. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Um, let's see. I got a question here from Leonard. He says, "Question: Favorite bait to throw for largemouth? Favorite bait to throw for largemouth?
my favorite bait to throw. I mean, this year the bait I had the most fun with probably was, and it's fun. One of the most fun baits to say too is
Oh,
the
nice.
whopper plopper.
Oh yeah,
Just throwing it out there and flop, 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 flop,
yeah.
wham, and But anything top water is probably my favorite.
Maybe
And
do you like to fish frogs?
I like frogs. I don't know. I don't do that well on frogs.
Yeah.
I do better with a plopper and then a spook, like a walk the dog style bait.
Oh,
Those are my
got it.
two
Yeah,
top
like a
water.
stick bait. Yeah, very
Yeah,
cool.
get that kind of back and forth, clack, 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 and they just come hammer it. So
That's why Eric says. Eric says he's also multifaceted. He's a mechanic by trade, and he's also a captain of his kayak. So nice, good on you.
yeah,
Nice, nice. Captain Nance is taking my bow. Thanks, guys. Okay, and then Sonia, what's up? Hit that like button. Yes, thanks for the reminder. Salty's got a question. Oh yeah, that was a question. Has Baker ever caught a spotty? There you go. Awesome, guys. Keep the questions flowing, guys. We appreciate them, and it's gonna get information that you guys want. So we're gonna continue this going, and I'll keep an eye on the questions from you guys. That's funny. That's funny. So you said you've owned. This is your fourth kayak.
yeah. This is the fourth boat. I've started. The first kayak was an ocean kayak.
Okay. Yep.
What was it? A Predator big game. It's a 13 boat.
Yeah.
It's pretty wide, and it was nice. It had this, sit on top, a high seat. I definitely fell out of that a couple times, mostly in shallow water, but
That's good. That's good.
it's kind of big and heavy. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, so eventually traded that, and I got what was it? A cheap boat from Bass Pro Shops,
Yep.
a little Ascend canoe style thing,
Okay. Cool.
and then we ended up getting a free sit-in, like a $500 Costco boat off a buy nothing site. Someone was just giving it away here in town, and so we got this free one that I take on the creek quite a bit. I've had a blast fishing out of that, and it's a free kayak.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Nothing. It's
you know.
like, was that commercial tastes good because it's free? It sounds
Yep.
good because it's free. That's very cool.
Favorite brand is free, so
Yeah. What brand is that? Oh, it's free. I love it. Very cool. Let's see. Carter, what's up, Carter? Welcome to the show. Carter asked a question. He says, "What's your favorite pre-spawn bait?"
ooh, favorite pre-spawn bait. I mean, probably staying with the top water there. If it's that time of year, if they'll eat it on top, then anything top water.
Yeah.
But then also like a swim jig, because I'm fishing around a lot of cover,
Okay.
and so the chatterbait or the swim jig are two great baits to pull through and around cover. And I'd say I like fishing both of those.
Very cool. That makes sense.
Spawn.
It would be. I've caught what is it? I've caught largemouth bass on like saltwater jigs, but it was hard. It didn't. Yeah, it was way easier to catch them on drop shot with the Senko, but I did catch a couple.
Yeah, Senko and stick,
Yeah.
rigged any way you want is the can't go wrong with that. You'll catch everything.
Exactly.
And an Ed.
Well, Eric has a good question. He says, "What happened to the mullet?" We'll answer that question when we get to the mullet section. But Nate's got a question. He says, it's multiple questions. Do you ever fish snap jigs or snap wraps?
Is that like a jerkbait or?
Sorry, I'll finish. Especially when vertical fishing.
Are you saying like snapping a jig?
Yeah, I fish snap jigs or snap wraps. I'm not sure what that means. I've had good luck on.
I think like you're talking like yo-yo.
Yeah, I think so.
Jig. Yeah.
So it says I've had good luck on cold water / winter, smallmouth and largemouth with them in the Midwest. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Nate, can you describe a little bit more what those snap jigs are or the snap wraps? Are you vertical fishing those? Sounds like it. Brian likes to fish has a question. He says, ever fish the A-rig?
I have fished the A-rig. I don't throw it a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'm starting to throw it a little more because I'm fishing the Delta a little more and
Yeah.
Trying to fish for some stripers. So it's something you can kind of throw for both species. But like I said last week, the A-rig I've been throwing is this Red One Systems A-rig, and it's got, instead of having wire, it's got 100-pound fluoro.
Oh.
As the 4 splits out on it, and just gives kind of a nice action. Don't have to worry about it bending or breaking. It's
so then when you swim it, do they all come together?
Yeah, they will flux in and out.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. And do you have any issues with them tangling?
No, not tangled too bad at all. So
that's cool. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and then putting Kitex is 3.8 Kitex on there, and then either something Ghost or electric shad. But
Nate says they are a specific type of lure. A snap wrap or an Acme Hyperglide are nice. Some nice ones. Okay. Well, maybe I'll look those up. See, it always happens. I end up learning something.
Yeah, I'll check those out. I mean, if they work good on a vertical jig, then anytime you park on a bait ball, that's kind of what we're doing with the spoons.
Exactly. Yep. Hey, and I love how all the freshwater stuff just ends up working in salt too, because I mean it's a fish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially when they're bass, they're aggressive. They'll eat. They want to eat.
They like shiny stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna put the music. So now we're gonna go back in time. Get ready to go back in time. So Dave missed the live version of the episode, but he did go back and rewatch it, and he told me he was cracking up in the garage. We had a blast. Once again, thank you everybody that participated, and thank you for submitting your mullets. It made one of the funnest shows we've had. And so you guys all voted for the champion. So mullet champion of the world, Dave here. And now we're gonna talk about that time. Talk about that era. You know, like what year was that?
So the year was 2007.
Okay.
Pretty far past the original mullet era. But
you rocked it. You rocked it till it couldn't be rocked no more.
Yep, I was living up in the mountains and I had big hair. You know, when my hair gets long, it gets big. So kind of had this big fro red mess of hair.
That's awesome.
And so was working Winter X Games on the broadcast, and we'd usually go out there for about a month. We'd cable the whole mountain.
Wow.
And set up everything for the show. So this year, right before I left, I was like, I'm going to cut this mullet in. And I had been given a couple pair of Oakley razor blades.
I do.
So I'm like, this will be cool. Have the razor blades, get the mullet going. And so went and had them flat top. Was trying to get lightning bolts in the side, but it didn't quite work enough. But this then had the big poofy mullet down the back.
That's so good. That's perfect.
Yeah, so had it for the X Games, kept it for a couple months after that, and then eventually hacked it off.
Were people making comments to you about it?
Yeah, plenty of comments. My coworkers,
were loving
my
it.
friends had to be seen with me. So
that's so good. That's perfect. I love it. That's a good sense of humor, and it's a cool thing to do. I mean, and especially like if it livens up your coworkers' day, because that's hard work. Cabling up a mountain. I've never done it, but I can imagine. Yeah, that's a ton of work. You had
Yeah,
you had
absolutely.
you had
It was a lot of work for a long time.
were you doing wireless cameras then? Yeah, right. Like
We were
radio.
just doing general cabling and then setting up for the broadcast. So, you know, wasn't anything too specific that we were getting into then.
Yeah,
We were just utilities.
yeah,
So doing
yeah.
a little everything.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, to do sets of. I just appreciate that kind of stuff because that's like what I do. Not what I do for work, but it's similar to what I do for work. But like in my case, I can expect an outlet to be there. I can expect certain drops to be there. But if you're gonna go cable up a mountain, it's just like starting from scratch. You have to bring everything with you, like the power, all the cabling. So it's pretty cool. And then it's got to be some kind of weatherized, right? Because it's wet, it's snow.
Yeah, yeah. That
right.
And snow and the ski shows are the most challenging for
Yeah.
that. 'Cause, you show up or a week later, there's a foot of snow on top of all your gear and everything you put down.
Yeah. And do you have to like GPS that stuff?
No, you try to hang it the whole way.
Oh, very cool. That's a cool trick. I got it. Yeah, because I was in the sidetracks tangent. I was watching Alone, and this guy was tired. He was chopping some wood. He went into bed, and he came out. I came out the next morning, and it was snowed over, and he was like freaking out because he's like, "I'm done. I can't find my axe." Like,
yeah,
that's like I'm done. But then he eventually found it. But yeah, I was like, "Wow, that's true. You could just lose some stuff like that." Interesting. All right, I got some questions coming through. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Nate's just giving us the exact name. So hyperglides, and we could Google those to see what they are. Okay, good. You fished them very similarly to jigging spoon. Okay, cool. Thanks, Nate. That's really cool. Warp TV, what up, coach? He says bass like the sabiki too when they are deep. Shh. But we can't fish sabiki on bass. We gotta do a 3-hook sabiki. Brian likes to fish says just landed a 16-inch body. Dog guys come out and that's funny. So Brian's out there fishing right now on his boat. He just picked up a 16-inch body. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Brian. That's cool, but it still counts as 1 point.
1 point, nice.
16 inches or 5 inches, it still counts as 1 point in the competition. Cool. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Very good. All right. I think, okay, so let's get back to the topic. So you're out there. So was that the first year of the X Games?
No, this was, probably 12th or 13th year. We're pretty well established. I'd worked, I think 4 or 5 of them leading up to that.
Oh, that's cool.
The Winter X Games, and we've done a few Summer X Games too. So it was, we'd been going to Aspen for a bit and kind of knew the lay of the land, knew what we were getting into.
That's so cool. That's fun. Super fun. Okay, so
the nice thing is you're wearing beanies and hoods for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you can hide it when you have to. Not that I ever did.
Good. That's so good. Oh, that's funny. All right, so okay, guys, keep the questions flowing. I see Coach was out there fishing. Added 2 more species to his count. Very cool. And can Dave explain what a kokanee is for us saltwater guys?
So the elusive kokanee, to me, they're a salmon that lives in the lakes, and they stay pretty deep. And a lot of guys love fishing for them. Apparently, I see a lot of boats out on Berryessa when I'm just out there banging the bank. You see these boats trolling behind me, and probably 35 to 70 feet of water wherever they can think. And they're kind of silvery salmon, and then right now I think they're close to spawn right now, or they're spawning, and so they get red this time of year.
Okay.
And I was catching some landlocked king salmon and then some rainbows. Berryessa has a rainbow stocking program where they put these big Eagle Lake rainbows in there. Or they were raising them in pens and then set them loose when they're anywhere 2 to 5 pounds.
Dang. That's big fish.
So, yeah, they're good fighting fish. And same thing with those salmon. But I didn't catch any kokanees. That was the one thing I've been trying to get. I know Captain Dan's been asking about these kokanees in Berryessa for a long time, and I've yet to pull one up.
But they are there, right? People catch them still, or is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Guys are catching them right now. I know a lot of people are using downriggers, and you got to
Oh
get
wow.
deeper than I'm
Jeez.
used to fishing and trolling.
Yeah.
And I saw there was a guy on a Hobie Outback with the downrigger, and he was set up and trolling deep a couple weeks ago, and then he ended up giving up on that, and then ended up parked on a bait ball with
The drop.
myself and I think 2 or 3 other bows.
Nice.
Saw what was
Nice.
going on. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
trolling. I can just sit
It's
here
good.
and
Yeah.
jig, jig, jig. Here we go.
Exactly. So a downrigger is that just basically like a line with a really heavy weight so it stays deep and then you troll something off of that? That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's it's having a short arm with a heavy weight, and I think as I understand it, when you catch the fish, it'll break loose when you fight the fish
Oh, that's right. Okay. I remember that.
on your line.
Yep. But you lose the weight.
Well, there's some that break away. I think some of them you just swings away and you're supposed to crank them up. Which
Okay.
that's the other thing for me. It's like a lot to be doing on a kayak. Plus
Yeah.
it's more stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I'd want to be able to cut that thing loose pretty quick once I snagged it, because I snag everything.
No, that's true. That's true. That's a tough one to do on the kayak, but still, it's pretty cool.
The guys do it. Yeah, they do it successfully and well. So
Very cool. Nate says he's going out tomorrow morning, SD Bay. Anyone been out recently? Any reports? Brian is fishing right now. So Brian, are you fishing in San Diego Bay or Mission Bay? Give us a report. Like near like near Stockton, says Arnie. Northern end of Sencal, Arnie. Okay, I think you're talking about something else. Oh, Berryessa is a great crappie fishery. Do you fish for crappie too?
Yeah. I don't target them, but I've caught them. I caught a few over the summer on, they'll come and hit drop shot and other smaller bass baits.
Yeah.
But the guys right now, they're definitely going out and when you find them, they're all schooled up and you can get on them pretty good. So
that's good. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Have you ever done like a fishing specific trip, like maybe to fish in a different part of the world or different body of water off a bigger boat? Just like anything more like adventure that when it comes to fishing?
So last year I started trying to kayak fish with my travels for work, and I ended up getting a couple really good trips that I had a blast on. The first one was in Toronto. I was there for the NBA Finals, and between games 1 and 2, I got 2 of my coworkers out on some Hobie Pro anglers on Lake Ontario, sitting there right in the shadow of Toronto, with the CN tower in the background, fishing for pike. Bass season wasn't on for I think another 3 weeks, and so the guide had just pulled his boats out and was moving his operation south, and I convinced him to drive. He'd done it like the day before. Convinced him to drive back up, get us out on the water, and out of the 3 of us and then the guide, I was throwing a jerk bait most of the day, and I was the only one who caught a fish, but I caught my first pike, a northern, and it was good size too. I think it was around 30 inches. I mean, it was a big pike.
That's a big one, yeah.
And I'd been catching 12 to 15 ounce or inch bass, and really horsing them, and all of a sudden I catch this pike, and it just starts towing me around.
Oh yeah.
And the Pro Angler 14 is a big boat too. And,
yeah, it is.
So that was the first my destination trip, and from there I was like, all right, where else can we go kayak fishing? And the summer before we were up in Minnesota for Summer X Games, and my friend of mine, coworker, lives on one of the lakes there, one of the 10,000, and we went and had dinner at his house, and he lives right on the lake, and
Nice.
I started picking up his kids' gear and went out there and threw a little half Cinco, started chucking around, started catching fish every cast.
Wow.
So I said, all right, Minnesota's got some juice, and I found a kayak outfitter just north of Minneapolis. So the next year, which was last summer, 2 summers ago now, 2019, stayed a couple days and did a 2-day trip on the Mississippi River.
Oh, that's
just
cool.
South of St. Cloud in Clearwater, Minnesota. And the first day we did, they had a 13-mile stretch that this outfitter services where they have a full rental fleet. They set you up with rods if you need them, and just a great operation. They shuttle you up and down. And
That's
so
awesome.
First day we did the bottom 9 miles, and just got on them right away. And I was throwing a jig and some top water and for smallmouth, and just had a blast. Took a coworker who hadn't really been fishing before, put him in a kayak for the first time, and he starts catching fish too. So
Oh, he's stoked.
he was definitely stoked.
Does he?
And he's into it now.
Oh,
So
I
after
was gonna
that,
ask. Does he still do it?
every
Yeah.
gig he's bringing a rod with him.
Oh,
saying, hey,
yeah.
where can we fish?
That's so good. That's cool, and it's good they have a coworker that's into it too now, because that way you
And,
guys
so
can
yeah,
make the
this
side
year I
missions.
had kind of the same thing planned out. It was travel rods, and we were going to do it.
So good.
But plans changed. Didn't get to do as much travel fishing, and just got to explore more of the waters around home, and
That's true.
really
Very cool.
find the spots around here, find my honey holes.
Yeah, exactly. You get to like really pick. You get to really dissect your areas. Okay, go. I'm checking for more questions.
The other nice thing about doing these trips where you could find a charter or anything is you can try different boats too. So, last year I got to try, I think 3 or 4 other kayaks. And it's, almost like demoing and really nailing down what you like. And I like this on this or this feature here. And, I came out, the other thing about my native, it has a big plastic seat base, and I ditched that. I put some metal rails across the top and made it almost more like a canoe in some way. So part of that was trying out these other boats, and a
getting
canoe
ideas
with my kids was like, here, I kind of like this, and it's the part of the fun customization of kayak fishing too.
Yeah, that sure makes sense. Like if you are looking for a kayak, you should try to get into as many kayaks as possible. That way you can have stuff to compare it to, basically.
You'll end up in as many boats as possible and then eventually you get a Hobie. I mean, that's just kind of the bottom line. So you can fast forward to that and say, hey, this is what I like, and spend the money. But eventually you'll be in a Hobie.
Yeah, I think so. Do you have Hobies in your plan? In your future?
Eventually, I'd love to get one of the 360s. I mean, those things are awesome.
Those things are freaking.
But
stick,
I've been eyeballing an Outback too, just to have something a little lighter that I can whip around in, and then that's a little more. I think I'd feel better going out with salt in that too. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Problem is they just keep getting swooped up right now. You can't find anything used, and
so I'm gonna ask the community real quick too, guys. If you guys are looking to upgrade your kayak and you want to get rid of your Hobie or your Outback, and you're in MMFC, guys. Do a fair market value post on our Discord group. We're not gonna try to get it for a discount. We're gonna get it for what it's worth, but at least give us a chance to get your kayak before you put it on Craigslist or anywhere else. You'll get the same amount of money, but it'll stay within the family. So that's kind of,
Yeah, that's a great way to keep boats around, and then you ever need to borrow kayak, you want to take a buddy out or something, it's pretty easy to have those boats within the group.
Yeah, so switching it up a little bit, what have you been doing? I assume you're staying home more now than before, right? Because of the whole pandemic. Staying
home a little more. I've been doing some corporate work in the tech world, which is nice with up here in Northern California. I'm outside of Sacramento, but Silicon Valley is close by, so I've been able to do some streaming work with some of the tech companies, and everyone's still trying to put on their conferences, or even sports talk shows, but people are doing it from home, just like we're doing your show, and they need something to stream it with to be able to integrate into a live show, into a studio somewhere, and trying to find what I can do within that realm right now, that I don't have to fly, I can stay closer to home, and
that's cool.
Still stay busy.
Yeah, I mean, you have the skill set, so I mean, your skill set can be applied remotely, so that's pretty cool. That's good.
Yeah, we're trying. It's it's a change, something new, and it's been good though. It's been nice being home. It's the longest I've been home. Like I said, we're road warriors, and it used to be every week getting on a plane, and flown twice now since March, which is crazy for me. Total shift.
Oh man. So Captain Dan's asking, what kind of electronics are you running on your boat?
Right now, So this year I upgraded my fish finder. I got a 7-inch Lowrance.
Oh, nice.
And what was it? It was the hook triple shot. So I had the side scan. I had major problems with it right out of the box. I ran it for about a month and ended up sending it back. Took 2 months to get it back.
Oh, geez.
The warranty repair. And when I got it back, they didn't load the maps on it.
Oh, jeez.
And so I was like, well, can you send me the maps? They're like, well, we can't do that. Send it back to us. We'll figure it out.
Oh my gosh.
So then
you're cutting out.
Version of it. They had some problem to begin with, and so, anyways, got a new one.
Okay.
Brand new one now of their 2020 upgraded version.
Oh, there you go.
It's a reveal, not a Hook 7. It's a reveal.
Okay.
And it's been working great for the last month or so. So.
Out of the main functions, like the sonar, down scan, and active view is a side scan, right? It's called active view. Which one of those do you rely on the most?
Probably just the basic sonar.
Right,
That's
the regular
favorite
one, right?
go-to. Yeah. I have been messing with the side scan more and the down scan. Once most of the time when I was looking at it, I like just having the map and then
the map and the sonar.
Yeah. But once I started seeing these bait balls and kind of getting like I said, getting that video game fishing,
yeah.
It's fun to see it on both, because on the side scan, as you're cruising up to it, all of a sudden here's your black stripe down the middle, and then you just start seeing the fog in there.
Yeah.
You're like, well, okay, those are fish, or you see the dots. And then you look at your down scan, and it's kind of the fog, and then you see the stripes through it. And as soon as you see that spaghetti, that means the fish are just stirring up that bait. And before I was just didn't know what I was looking at. You're just looking at the screen. It's like, that's a blob. But now I can relate to what's going on down there based on what I'm seeing. So
that's a really good point. I think when you first get your fish finder, you're like, what the hell am I looking at? Like you have to, like I still haven't seen a confirmed yellowtail on my sonar. I've seen them on a boat, but I haven't seen them on my sonar. I know what to expect, what they should look like, but again, the few times I've gone to La Jolla with it, I haven't seen anything that's like I can say, oh, that's a yellowtail mark.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, if I'm not at the lake, if I'm on the delta or fishing the creek near my house, sonar, it's not doing much for me. There's a lot of vegetation down there. Yeah. I'm close enough to see a fish on the cone, I've spooked him anyways. So
yeah.
For that, it's pretty much either just using the map or I like having a clock in front of me to make sure I don't stay out too late.
Do they limit? They make you come off the lake before sunset, right?
No. Well, some depending on where you park, but a lot of the lakes you can stay out there all night.
Oh, nice.
Night fishing too.
Yeah, here we can't. That's cool. But it's still part of the same. It's still California Department of Fish and Wildlife, right? For you guys?
It depends. Like on Berryessa, I think it's the Bureau of Reclamation is running a lot of the sites
yeah. It
there.
Depends who owns the body of water.
And then like Lake Comanche, for instance, that's the East Bay Municipal District. Folsom, I think, is SMUD. So it all depends. A lot of the power entities own the kind of the Sierra chains.
Yeah, that's crazy. And okay, that's interesting.
They all have different regs. They all fall under Department of Fish and Game overall, but some of them, like, you can spearfish for carp on, other ones you can't.
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds fun. You ever carp fish?
No, not intentionally. I've caught a few, but
cool.
Yeah, I caught one, of course, on a Ned rig back in January. I got my first carp on the creek.
See, Ned rig all day.
Yeah, and I didn't foul hook him either. He ate it. I lit in the lip, and I felt him. He sucked it in. I think he spit it out. When he spit it out, just caught him right in the top on pretty much just a finesse TRD, a little 2.5 inch.
There you go.
And
boom.
Yeah, it was a 9-pound carp. All of a sudden, he's towing me around. I'm on, pretty much a light setup, finesse rod, and it's like, what the hell is this? And
that's so funny.
Big old carp, scales coming off the net.
Yeah.
Mess.
Was it fighting? How was the fight? Did
it fought? It fought and fought hard. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
It his head shaking like crazy at first, and then just kind of towed me around.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's not one of those fish that kind of fights for a little bit and then kind of just gives up.
No, he went for longer than a bass would have.
Very cool. Very cool.
I couldn't horse him either. He was just pull on him, he pulled back.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, we have like these pretty big carp here in I've seen them in Miramar Lake, or is it Miramar? It's not Miramar. Anyway, there's a reservoir here right by where I live, and I was out there bass fishing, and I'm like, I can hear the tulies kind of like knocking back and forth, right? And I'm like, what is that? What's going through the tulies that's knocking them back and forth? And sure enough, it's just these big fat carp, like they're this big around. They're just big carp. They look like the ones in the store, like they have like orange, black, and white blotches. Yeah, it's like a koi fish.
So I used to see guys when I lived in LA. I was pretty close to the LA River, and I would go down there and fish occasionally because there are largemouth in the LA River. There was an area they established some habitat, and they would do they rented some stand-up paddle boards, and they do an annual derby in there. Well,
wow.
I would also start seeing guys down there pulling out these stringers with 4 huge carp on them, and they said, yeah, they're just throwing corn tortillas on a hook, and that's it, and they're getting huge carp out of the LA River. And I never got a carp out of there. I got some small bass and some little tilapia too.
Oh, that's fun.
Catch out of the river. I mean,
Oh, I need to try corn tortillas on my for the multi-species challenge this Saturday. I'm trying a bunch of different stuff.
There you go. That'll get you a carp.
Tacos. There you go.
Or bread. Yep.
That's so funny. All right. Let's see. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Cool. So that's funny. All right. So that's pretty cool. So now we're gonna talk a little bit about the COVID, the next mullet challenge, the next COVID mullet challenge. So if you guys want to grow a mullet, we're gonna do a current or an active mullet challenge soon. We'll give you guys some time to think about it, and if you guys already have been letting your hair grow, you might have an advantage. But yeah, it's something we might do down the road just to do another mullet thing. It'd be kind of fun. So yeah, think about it. That's what Eric just mentioned. I don't even know what to call it, the actual mullet challenge or the current mullet challenge or something like that. I don't know.
The ongoing mullet. Take down the mullet champ.
Yeah. 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 So basically we're seeing if we can find a challenger. Y'all got any of them hair? Oh, Salty said y'all got any hair to spare? Well, we'll count your beard as a forward mullet, reverse mullet.
So that's the original mullet. That was one thing we would do every year. It's about 8 of us, my buddies and I. We would show up and would usually have some kind of facial hair challenge, grow a Fu Manchu, or some kind of mustache. Over the course of the month, we were working together, and so this year I was like, all right, everyone, we're doing the mullets, and I was the only one who followed through on it. You're going to work that first day when you first did it, expecting everybody else to show up with mullets, and you're like, hey, "What's up, guys?" You're like, "Oh, come on, guys." Missing out.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, very good. I'm in the market for some hair too, says Dario. Oh, jeez. All right, maybe we won't do a mullet challenge, guys. We'll do we'll figure something out. It'll be fun. Cool. So, Baker Lounge, are there any questions for us? So you have a channel, right?
Yeah, I've got a little YouTube channel. It's Baker Lounge Fishing. I just, mostly just a catalog of all the fish I caught this year, and don't advertise it too heavily or put too much out there on it. But
go follow them. Baker Lounge. Right. If we search for Baker Lounge on YouTube, will we find it? Yeah,
Baker Lounge Fishing. Baker Lounge is all one word.
Let me see if I can just find it with one search phrase.
And some of the things we talked about tonight, those fishing those spoons.
Yeah.
A few of my last couple episodes up there are exactly that. Pulling up a ton of fish out of Berryessa. One thing that was fun, a couple of the fish I caught on spoons, I'd pull them up and they were just puking out shad. So took a couple of those shad, or one at a time, put them on a drop shot, drop that down there, and then of course they just get annihilated immediately. But it was seeing what's going to get fished, or what's more effective, a spoon or a live shad, and they were about equal. The spoons were, I caught bigger fish on the spoon.
I dig it.
And more, one more, but once again there was another guy there's two guys on a bass boat that showed up.
And they're like, we're gonna do what you're doing.
4 times. Well, we were on the same. They kind of like 2 or 3 other boats that knew about this bait ball, and I kept seeing them over the 2 weeks. When I went back to fish, one of these guys was there every time.
Jeez.
Huh? Okay. All the fish are here then, so we go.
That's funny. Like, you're blowing up my spot, dude.
It was fun, but yeah, that's up there on the channel, and then. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that was. Normally you couldn't. Wouldn't be there fishing that close with boats, but we all kind of knew each other at that point and knew what we were getting into, so you had to accept it.
I love it. Very cool. So let's see. I said, please go sub to Dave's channel, and I posted a link in the chat, guys. Let's everybody run over there right now and hit the sub. I'm gonna be 23rd. Boom. I just subbed. Cool. Very cool. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be your what is it called? Call to action. The call to action is to go hit subscribe on Baker's channel. So Baker Lounge Fishing. There's a link in the chat right there for you to click on easily and subscribe. And then I'm gonna refresh it. See who's subbed here. Okay, there's some subs going on. All right.
Check it out. And if you guys want to see anything out on the fresh water, or want to see me try anything out, we can talk about that on the Discord here and there, and I'll
true.
Post some videos. So.
I like that. Well, definitely gonna want some A-rig action, the guys. So some A-rig action would be cool. Captain Dan says, I need to send the Mullet King his Lucas Toolbox buddy to make all this official. That's true. And I still need to send these to you too. I'm slacking. Sorry.
What else? And I also have one of my cool baits, underspin.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
And, I'll be putting this into work pretty soon. Adding that to the tackle box. So I'm trying to get some smaller swim baits to put on as a trailer and not run this thing nice and finessey.
Is that a quarter ounce?
This 3/16.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I like that one.
So yeah, that's a real nice one there.
You need those small 3-inch Kitex.
Yeah, I got some 2.8 easy shiners. So perfect. Not even the fats, but just it'll be like a nice little minnow whipping through there.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Mr. Dave Baker, Baker Lounge in the house. Thank you so much for joining us today in this episode. Do you have anything else you want to share before we sign off?
No, appreciate you having me on. Like I said, it's been great hanging with you guys. I mean, this has been a great club and group of people. Once again, with COVID, we don't always get together, and so making friends with people, hanging out with new fishing buddies, and it's being a part of a community, being a part of something has been nice during these times. So cool. Really appreciate it, you guys.
Cool. Awesome, and we definitely appreciate you. I know it's a little bit tough because you're further up north, but when you do jump into Discord on a Saturday, it's amazing. We feel like we're there with you. I remember the first time you jumped on, and you were doing I think you were doing a tournament, or you were fishing for an ongoing tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I might have been doing a tournament. I was doing a 1-day on a Saturday. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
and
that was fun.
I was out there on Berryessa checking in and out.
Yeah,
that was awesome. And then of course the kids caster we got to do another one of those. That was such a blast.
Very cool, awesome. So once again, thanks so much for taking the time to join us on the show and for sharing your knowledge, and of course, just for being an awesome member of the community. Now we get to see your face, and we get to see who we've been talking to this whole time. So I feel like I got to know you better. I hope the guys feel like they got to know you better, and it's going to make the community stronger. So thanks again. We'll see you soon. I'm going to go ahead and sign off.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave. All right. So, guys, I'm going to kick the music. And once again, a huge shout out to Dave Baker for coming to the show and being a good sport, submitting his mullet champion of the world. He's ready to step up. If you guys want to challenge the mullet champion of the world, grow your mullet, and we'll see what we can do. If we get enough people that want to participate, we'll make it happen. No physical contact. You don't have to wrestle them or anything, but you do have to grow a mullet. That's good. and sorry, I was cracking up. Shout out Brian's Fish Report live from the water right now. He's got 3 spotties, a 16-incher, a 14-incher, a 10-incher, and all that adds up to 1 point in the species challenge. So congratulations, Brian. Hider in the house. What up, Eric? Thanks so much for jumping on the show and being such an active member in the community. I see Todd. Thanks so much, Todd. Thanks, Baker Lounge, says Todd. Dario Sima says, I'm down for some freshwater fishing. We need to do that as a group. That would be fun. We're going to wait for it to warm up a little bit. I'm not sure what the fishing is like right now here. So we'll look it up. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do Lower Otai. That seems like a reasonable place. I hope still talking about Brian's chum yesterday. Did you watch that yesterday? So funny. Okay, Leonard says thank you, Baker Lounge. Thanks, Dave, says Dario. All Nighter Hatter says thank you. Brian needs to jump in the water to get all the chum and soak in. Very nice. Todd says thanks, Broman. Nice. All right. So Captain Dan, Eric, Salty, Brian, Jesse, Hyder, Dario, Arnie, Coach Worf, WorfTV.com. Guys, Baker Lounge Fishing on YouTube. Check out his channel and hit him up on Discord if you want him to make any specific videos about freshwater fishing. All right. So I'll see you guys. Actually, I'll see you guys not tomorrow because tomorrow I have to work. So I'll see you guys on the water on Saturday, San Diego Bay. I'll post all the details in Discord under the outings section. And then I'll see you once again live on stream, maybe Saturday. If not, for sure, Monday for Fishy Hour fishing reports. All right, guys. Good night. Then I wait for the live stream to catch up, and then I can kill it when I wave. Okay, I waved. End stream. End stream. All right.